wanna transform raw audio and video into interviews ready to review and to publish. But the interesting thing is to develop the pipeline. We involved also professional journalists, newsroom, and our clients. So see, I think that this could be a good example to describe. So we start from a toy, and we develop a real tool that is ready to use for the newsroom.
Good. And Massimo, finally you, baseline
Yes,
or add-on?
Yeah, thank you. Well, AI as a technology definitely is mature in certain areas. So my advice to publishers should be to consider that as a baseline and not to limit their considerations only to the commodity coming from AI, like create summaries or create posts for social and so forth, but also to consider, for example, an AI which is more industrial these days, like the AI that creates print pages, that automatically paginates content and so forth, which saves hours of time and allow the users to have more time for other more valuable tasks. So there's a lot to consider, and definitely it's not a toy anymore.
I clicked the wrong unmute there. We do have a little bit of echo, so we're trying to mitigate that.
Okay.
Thank you. The next question is the renovate versus rebuild, and this is one of the bigger questions, I think. So should publishers throw away their entire legacy system when they look at a CMS system that has AI in it? What is your architectural response to this? Do they need to rebuild the whole house or just renovate the kitchen if they want AI to be an integrated part of the workflow? Sarah, why don't we start with you? Renovate or rebuild?
Yeah. Later we saw that for us, we will see that for us, My Type, that is our new product, is literally the answer to this question, because it's renovation and not the rebuild. Because working with our customer, we recognize that things are moving very quickly, and the newsroom today needed to capture, for example, the value from artificial intelligence, and they don't have time to wait 18 or 20 months for a full migration. So for this reason, we built the one that we call editorial layer to provide impact, to provide immediate impact for the newsroom without requiring a lot. So yeah, the short answer is that I think that renovate could be the solution.
Excellent. Massimo, how is that situation in Neon?
Well, Neon, it probably in a slightly different position, because when we were developing it, generative AI appeared on the market and had such an impact. So we didn't want to rebuild the software from scratch just to include generative AI, but we wanted to raise the level of readiness of the software. So, for example, some design decision that we've taken, like having Neon entirely API-based, allow us today to have agents applied to Neon to automate a lot of tasks. And so the software itself presents a level of readiness for API or for AI and a set of functionalities that make it very appealing. Obviously, it's a lightweight solution, so it's a digital CMS, and we know very well how to handle complex projects, how projects can be complicated. So it has plenty of features out of the box, integration with analytics, monetizations, paywalls, and so forth, which makes the deployment of the solution absolutely a sustainable process. So it's like renovate the whole house, not just the kitchen, not rebuild, entirely because open to integrate any legacy system. But our view, do not focus only on the kitchen.
Okay. Tom, I know that we discussed that it's no longer a several 100-day implementation process to get a new CMS, and I know you offer some services around that as well. What's the Woodwing approach to this?
Yeah, so I would say it's not renovate, but integrate. So we follow a best of breed approach. So already we were well positioned to integrate all the new developments that AI bring. And yeah, with our rich APIs and our consultancy services, we offer customers to renovate the kitchen while they're still cooking, basically. So integrate those services without completely rebuild everything from scratch. That's not needed, and it's also not very practical.
Okay, got it. So the last thing that would be nice fun to hear from you about. So if you give the Newsroom just one AI capability today, what would make the biggest difference in your opinion? What would be the killer feature? Is it saving time? Is it getting new ideas? Is it better search? What is it? One feature. And let's start with you again, Tom, and then we'll take the row back.
Yeah, I would say it's producing content faster by automating the repetitive and non-creative bits, and also cutting down the endless review cycles. There's a lot of efficiency to be gained there if you look closely at your processes and tools, and AI can definitely be of help there.
Just a follow-up question for that. You said cutting down endless cycles of review. Is that in the print production, or is it in anywhere that there's too much?
It's anywhere. So you need to look at your whole workflow. If you have your digital first flow, and for example, you produce a story of 1,000 words that you later have to cut down to 500 because it doesn't fit on the page. Those are inefficiencies that you need to take a close look at. So it's not just AI. It's not that every problem needs an AI solution. But take a close look at your whole workflow and see where efficiencies can be made and where AI can help you.
Cool. Sarah?
Yeah, sorry. From my side, I think that, I agree with Tom, but I think that if we spoke about killer feature, like the production, we know that today we can use AI for the production in a very good way or in a very smarter way. But I think that the next step could be about finding new stories and the new point of view. And so for me, it's something that we can call intelligent story discovery, because it's not like a generic trending topic feed, but to use artificial intelligence to read the newsroom archive, to understand the need of the reader of the specific newsroom, and then help the newsroom and help editors to find new stories to write about the topic that are very important for the reader of the newsroom, and not like a generic trend discovery.
So is that how you make sure that we don't all fall into the same clickbaity articles, that you use the archive as a reference point for what a new potential good story is?
Yeah, the archive and connecting the archive to data analytics. So basically, we read the archive and we look for the trending topic, but the trending topic, again, not for a generic newsroom, but for the specific newsroom. Because, of course, a regional news outlet in Germany covering politics, of course, needs different suggestion from a sport publication in Italy, for example. So.
Yep. Okay, cool. Massimo, what would be your one recommendation?
Well, a feature that I hope, I truly believe it could be a killer, it's automation. Automation in a CMS achieved with agents, which can perform multiple tasks in a single shot, saving a lot of time to the journalist because every day there are tasks that require mouse click and wizards and like filling forms and so forth, which are needed. Okay, that's intrinsically, it's part of the software. But imagine if all of these could be carried out safely by agents, journalists will gain a lot of time for doing their work because all of this clicking around is not journalists. Okay, these are requirements coming for the software, and we're really looking forward to that. Of course, with a proper degree of control, guard railing, and so forth. It's a challenge for the industry, but the next step that we see is agentic workflow, orchestration, and so forth cannot be avoided. We hope to implement it in a better way for the users.
So are you talking about several agents speaking together? Like have an agent say, research this topic, then create this, then publish it?
Yeah, correctly. Well, about publish it, I have
Yeah,
some concerns. Okay, but
totally.
imagine an agent which is also collecting relevant information, building a section on the website, sending a task to my colleagues, getting ready for that. I wouldn't allow the agent to publish. It's a very easy guardrail. And of course, you need to have human in the loop. So to have human control overseeing what the agents are doing. But the fact that they can act independently and in parallel, it's having a massive impact on the operations.
Interesting. Good. So those were the brainstorm questions we had. Thanks for your input on that. And again, as always, these guys, the suppliers, are experts in their field, and they really, really want to talk. So if you have any questions on anything that they've said, you can do a couple of things. You can either email them. Oh, sorry. There we go. You can either email them on the emails you have right here, or you can post it in the Q&A. We have disabled chat for these types of webinars because it tends to be a little bit distracting to have chat popping up all the time. So the Q&A is a one-way street, meaning that if any of the participants have questions to what has been presented, or what will be presented here, throw it into the Q&A. No matter if it's something you want answered live or you would like to receive an email from Massimo, Sarah, or Tom later on to explain it, just put it in the Q&A. The Zoom system is so smart that it just outputs a form for us so we can distribute these questions directly to the presenters. So use the Q&A all you want, and don't be afraid when you post it. It's not going to be shared with everyone. It is our notepad to reach out to you after. So we are on time, and it would be awesome if we could start with Massimo. So if you steal the screen and show us what Neon can do.
Yeah, correct. I'm here. Hope you can see the screen. Yeah, okay. Thanks for this opportunity. My name is Massimo Versotti. I'm the Chief Marketing and Product Officer at Eidos. I've been working with in the news media sector for more than 20 years, supporting publishers in their journey, innovation journey towards digital, and these days in the AI adoption. And today I'll try to go a little bit beyond the AI hype and show AI application in the editorial workflow from end to end, starting from content creation for digital, but ending up with print production and have the entire steps supported by AI. Before that, just a minute reminding about Eidos Media. Eidos Media is supporting publishers, news media organizations. It's more than 20 years. You may be familiar with Method, which is our core solution, is powering the most complicated newsroom, the more sophisticated titles out there. You can see a few of the major users, some of the logos in here. And these days, we have a new solution, Neon. It's a digital CMS developed from scratch just for supporting news media workflow. So it's not a generic digital CMS. It's designed for the need of a newsroom, knows about the newsroom, knows about the editorial task, scalable, accessible, and so forth. And as I mentioned before, being a brand new product, it has the possibility to have AI deeply integrated in it. Now, about AI, a lot of functionalities are available out there already. We all know about that. A comment we're hearing is that AI is more useful the moment it doesn't create friction or add task or create silos or force the user to activities that are potentially interrupting their workflows. And there's a common request, and everybody agrees the advantage of having AI as a technology seamlessly available when needed and then disappearing and going out of view when not necessary anymore. And ideally, this should happen everywhere, as I mentioned, from content creation, assisted writing, up to print production, which is still key, which cannot be avoided. So it's best to have AI encompassing the whole workflow. Let's start from the beginning, from writing content. Okay. When a journalist is writing a story, is fully focused on researching, writing, reviewing, drafting. And if we have the AI tools like requesting the user to stop what they're doing, abandon the editor, go to a dedicated panel and click there, copy, paste, see the outcome and place it back, then we're destroying the flow. Okay. So after the initial hype about having all these tools available, now the focus we're putting in the solution, which by the way, it's already in use by hundreds of users across dozens of customers, in becoming way more seamless, to be context sensitive, to be activated with the mouse or by keyboard and so forth, with the obvious advantages that all the benefits will come without disrupting the work of the users. I recorded a quick sample of that. So that's Neon, that's the editor. Pretend to be a journalist reviewing a story, and I can see there's a very long paragraph in here. Just by selecting the paragraph, I have this toolbar popping up, proposing me, depending on the context, several actions. I'm shortening this paragraph. Obviously, there's a prompt, there's my model or a public model configured for that, but you see no interaction. This paragraph is sort of data intensive, so why not trying something like transforming this into a table? Okay, this could be contextual, and the AI is working and is producing a table, and I can keep working on the story. So maybe moving the table to another position. I can also leverage on keyboard shortcuts. We have this slash menu that we're introducing to insert items, and very soon we use this to implement multimodal. So to having, for example, a chart generated from this table automatically inserted in the story. So you see this interaction with AI is not disrupting the flow of the journalist while working on the story. Let's continue. And there are situations where just a single click is not enough, where users need to interact with AI. An example is natural language search that we implemented by combining together multiple functionality, a search by questions. not by keywords, which is way more natural. Having AI synthesizing the results, providing comments, highlighting connections from the result themselves, and then why not having then the possibility with the prompt to ask for summarizing and creating content out of the search result. And exactly as was mentioned before by Sarah, this allows leveraging on the enormous assets all the newspapers have from their digital archive, previous published story, and surface even more content to be published for the users. Another video clip with another example of that. That's our AI companion. In here, from this prompt, I can start a search using natural language. I could even use Italian for there. The corpus of the repository is in English, but the model understands and responds in whatever language. These are the search results. We configure the top 5. There's a small summary. We can see the chunk of text that triggered the search. There are a few tools available for linking the story. And at the end, there are some comments coming out of the model. For example, he's highlighting this, which actually I discovered that registering the demo. Climate disasters may fuel misinformation. That's something that I was not, frankly, aware of. So I've been asking, well, find me stories highlighting this connection, because it's not natural to think that the more disaster, the more disinformation. And here there are stories in here covering that. From News Corp, there's a meteorologist in Spain which is being like persecuted by who doesn't believe in that. So it seems that I'm on something here. So I'm asking AI, create me a summary in journalistic style that I can use to start writing the story. And here it is. So hi, AI is writing me a recap of this, and one click, it's inserted in the story. So you see how a feature can be combined with other AI capabilities and become very powerful as a time saver for a journalist. And talking about time saving, here we are at what I was explaining before, intelligent automation. There are a lot of tasks these days needed by CMS because it's software. So you need to click around, you need to do to create like a section or click on for creating assignments and so forth. We're working on adding an agentic layer on top of Neon. So what I'm showing here in this video is a mock-up of a feature which is coming. So basically, there's a new prompt, more powerful, where it is possible to have more complicated actions. So some can be already configured there, okay? Find some stories, link them, do fact-checking of this article, or even something more complicated, a full automation. So create a new section. That's something, those are breaking news, collect material, and start alerting my team. And when you run this action, you have multiple agents working in parallel, as described before, performing all these tasks in parallel. Imagine the time-saving opportunities that you have in here. The journalist could focus on doing great journalism, and these tasks are under their control, but doesn't need to be executed literally by the humans. This will be huge. This definitely will be huge in the near future. Instead, I'll finish with something which is available today. It's using AI for automating the pagination process. Neon is fully integrated with Method. So all the content created in digital with Neon is synced with Method. And then we use this Selfie engine for creating the final printed pages. The engine is not template based. It knows about the style of your publication, the style of your pages, the style which is different from section to sections and all of that, and is able to create, as of today, across several customers, close to 4,000 pages per month. So this is in production. Here's another quick video clip. Imagine your in the evening, your content from digital is there, is ready for being paginated, can be selected. Specific section can be defined. There's an export of the content to the Sophie engine. It's not simply article, it's layout, ad placement, pictures, captions, you name it. The whole content plus furniture for the pages, and then the pages are built according to your style. Stories are placed, pictures, and so forth. In a matter of a few minutes for dozens of pages, a few seconds per page. And then there's an option of if users decide to do so, to review the pages, doing manual tweaking, okay, humans in the loop, but definitely we do have all the copy fit options for automating all this part as well. And so the final pages will fully respect style and layout, saving hours and hours and hours of time and still maintaining your print product available. So to finish, all of these agents are coming, but all the other features are in production. It's real software. There are already publishers out there which are leveraging all of this to save time, improve quality, improve productivity, results, and so forth. And so forth. These are some of the pillars that we are following. If you want to know more, then absolutely, let's get in touch. That's a sample of the questions that you should ask yourself that you are ready to answer with Neon.
Good. Thanks for both asking the questions and giving the answers. And we do see quite a few questions coming in through the Q&A. We will address them after all 3 demos. And if you have more questions, just shoot them in there and we'll take it away. Thanks for that, Massimo. Thanks for the overview. 4,000 pages already being produced on via your automation. That's impressive, and also really interesting to hear about your thoughts on the light agentic workflow. Let's call it that.
Thank you.
Let's move on to our next presentation from Sarah and Atex. If you steal the screen and take it away, then I'll mute and let you have the stage.
Yeah. Okay, so can you see the presentation?
Yes, we see it. Looks good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so yeah, again, thanks for all the persons that are following this webinar. As you can see, today I will present MyType. MyType is a product, is our last product at Atex. So for this reason, I am represented by Atex, but I am the product owner of MyType. MyType basically is a content management system, but today we speak in particular about our idea of editorial layer. So let's start. Henry Ford once said, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Well, if I asked editors what they wanted, they would have said, just give us a faster migration when we have to switch from a content management system to another. So every newsroom that I spoke with in this month, they need better tools, but they don't want to pay a lot for a project and to spend a lot of months for a migration to change the software. And so for this reason, when we start a conversation, sometimes a conversation stalls because because migration isn't just a technical project. It's a amount of work, content at risk, and the editorial team that could be stuck while the news, of course, doesn't stop. So for this reason, today I wanted to show you that that maybe we are asking the wrong question, because it's not how do we migrate faster, but is what if we didn't have to choose, we didn't have to migrate at all. So for this reason, we designed the idea of editorial layer, my type as editorial layer. Basically, the original CMS, whatever is WordPress, Drupal, Contentful, or any other Adler or custom-built CMS, stays exactly where it is, with the content, URL, publishing setup. Nothing move. But what we do is sit on top of it. So my type editorial layer connected to the existing system through API or through plugin, as we will see in a few minutes. And so the editor stopped using the old CMS and they started to work entirely in my type editorial layer, which is built specifically for modern newsroom with the AI tools at every step, writing and editing process. So for us, this is the editorial layer that could simplify the life of the newsroom and of the editor. So let me show what it looks like in practice. So I move to a real-time demo. So this is my type. This is the home page of the editorial layer, my type for WordPress. So basically, I want to describe an hypothetical journey of an editor. So we come back to maybe as a journalist, we went out, we go to a meeting or to do an interview or to an event, and so we came back to the newsroom, and we have a lot of material, for example, audio or video material to transcribe. So in my type, we have the Ask AI, that is a tool that helps us to do things. So I already downloaded this interview. This is an interview of a skater, Alyssa Liu, US skater, from the Olympics game. So basically, I uploaded the interview in my type and I asked the system to transcribe the interview. While my type is thinking about the transcription, so as you can see, transcription is in progress. So I spend these minutes to read what are the news, what are the topic, what the other website and also what the news agency are writing about it. So as you can see, in my type, there is the possibility to connect all the sources that you want. For example, as you can see, I have to read several news from Reuters that enter directly in my system, but also news from Marca, news from Carly Staff, USA Today. So basically, we can integrate all the website, the news agencies such as Reuters, ANSA, the news agency, and also we can integrate and you can read in the CMS also the press release. So we have an email address and the editor can send a press release and text directly sending an email, and then the email will appear in the content management system. So I am a sport journalist and I want to write an article about, for example, this story. So the fact that the curling Canada beat South Korea. So I can simply click on news, and if I click on news, I start immediately to work with the content of Reuters in this case. And as you can see in the source, we read Reuters because, of course, the source is Reuters in this case. So let's start. This is the news agency from Reuters, but I wanted to ask AI to paraphrase, to change the text, the wording, because I wanted to start from a new draft, like to use the content, the editorial content of Reuters, but of course I have to create a new content. So as you can see, in few seconds, the system paraphrase the article from Reuters, and I have a completely new draft. And of course, I can edit, I can do a lot of things, and I can start to write my article. So again, I can, in this moment, I wanted to change the title and the lead that Reuters suggests. So again, our Ask AI panel suggests several couple of title and lead. For example, okay, I wanted to use this title and this lead. Perfect. So then I have to upload the image. I already upload an image about the two players of the Canada team. So I simply, as you can see, also for us is very important the user experience in my type, because we want to help the newsroom to work better, to work in a very smart way. So we have here at the right panel the search. So the search is basically the archive. So it's possible to search images, article, and all the content that we have in the archive, and simply drag and drop content. So I use this image for my article, and then another thing that we can do for the distribution of our content is the possibility to personalize the SEO. To improve the SEO experience. So in this case, we have the 26%, and if I use this keyword, we will have the 37%. But of course, it isn't enough. And so, again, Ask AI write for us the metadata of the article that we all know that today writing the metadata is not like the most interesting things that editors want to do. So as you can see, the system suggests the metadata, and now our SEO score is 43. Of course, we can improve, but for this demo, I think that is enough, just because it's just to understand what we can do with my type. So we have our body, the title, the lead, the image, everything, and the SEO. And also, another thing I forgot, we can ask to suggest tag, like to tag our article. In this case, the system suggests a tag by organization, location, people that are mentioned in the article, and general tags. Of course, also in this case, it's possible to edit, to delete a tag and to add new tags. So it's not like every feature that you saw from AI, of course, there is a possibility to change, to edit, to modify. And also, once I save the article, so now I save the article, and in the web preview, there is the possibility to see how the article will be on our website on the front end. Okay, so I'm ready to publish. I publish the article, and here I can show the power of the editorial layer, because everything you saw, like I work on my type as a CMS, but if I click here on the web URL, as you can see, this is WordPress. The journalist is our fake website, but the website is on WordPress. So basically, when I click on published, I send the content to WordPress, and then I directly publish on our website that again is based on WordPress. And we can do this process with all the CMS. I didn't forget my interview, like where everything started. So as you can see, now I have the transcription ready. So I can, I ask my type to create a new article from the transcription. So I open, and as you can see, we didn't have the title and the lead, but we only have the body of the article. This is a very raw transcription, raw transcript, but again, I can ask to my type to paraphrase my transcription. Yeah, sorry, like, okay, but just the concept is that I ask to paraphrase the transcription, and so the transcription, so the system transform our transcription in a draft, in a better draft, like to start to write my article. Again, I ask to suggest the title and lead. I select the web section, etc. And so I can do all the things that I did before. But the other thing that I wanted to show to you is that in my type, we integrate also the possibility to publish directly on social network. So we have this tab, a social posting tab. So Ask AI read the entire article and create a different copy for different social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, and also LinkedIn. But we know that LinkedIn is not so popular for the newsroom. And I can decide, for example, to use the same image for all the social platform, or for example, I don't know, on Instagram, I wanted to use another image. Okay, so I save, and just to finish my demo, I publish. Okay, first I have to publish the article on the website. Then, once I have published the article, I can also publish on social. So, for example, today I wanted to publish on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram. But on Instagram, I wanted to publish tomorrow. So the system scheduled the publication of our story for tomorrow on Instagram, and today on Facebook and on X. So just we have to wait a few seconds, and then I want to go on. Okay, ready? I came back here, and okay, we are no, not on Instagram, because on Instagram is tomorrow, but on this is a fake profile on X, for example. So as you can see, we have the post already published, and if I and this is Facebook. So we have the article, we have the caption, and to our post. So coming back to my presentation, okay, here. So as you can see, now you might thinking, okay, great, but we are not on WordPress. Yeah, we call it sometimes my type of WordPress just because we decided to develop a plugin for WordPress, simply because WordPress is the CMS that the majority of newsroom are using. But the idea isn't WordPress specific. So basically, as I said, using API connection is very easy to connect my type editorial layer to any other CMS. Also the custom built one. So what's next? What you have seen is not set in stone, because my type editorial layer evolves as my type CMS as a product. So, and we have the product roadmap. In particular, just to give to you a very, very quick overview, the upcoming feature are, as you saw, I showed to you the ability to publish across different social media platforms, while remaining connected to an article. But we are about to release the same functionality, but as a standalone feature. So basically, it's possible to use my type editorial layer also as a platform to publish on social without the need to connect the post to an article. So basically, this is an advantage also for the newsroom that are working more on social platform than to the rather than the website. And also the other advantage is that newsroom will also be able to have an archive for their social media content that we know that today is a problem because the archive is on the social platform. Then the other feature that is coming very, very soon will be the analytics. So in my type, it will be possible to monitor the performance of the article, to read the page views, best performance topic, etc. So just to sum up, so we start with the problem, so that the migration is a problem. Then we saw the editorial layer, and we have the WordPress plugin, but also the API architecture, and a little bit of a roadmap. So to conclude, of course, we would love to show you a live demo. So I leave to you this QR code to book a session with me and my team. You can also find me on LinkedIn or send me an email. And thank you for your attention today.
Thank you. Let's keep that up for a second so you can scan that and reach out to Sarah directly.
Yeah.
And just for a couple of we have about 40 questions in the Q&A. Thank you for that. For those of you who post questions and you logged in being anonymous, it's super important that you put your email in. Otherwise, we don't know who to get back to. And some of the questions are quite complex, so it would be great if you could put your email when you post a question that you would like the speakers to get directly back to you with. That's one question that has come up a number of times, and I think this may be a good transition to you as well, Tom. The question of all of the data that we have in the CMS, of course, founds the basis for trains the internal model, but is any of it used to train externally, like the larger LLMs? Sarah, let's start with you. Is there a watertight wall between the training data that you provide internally and externally?
Yeah. Like, of course, we have a private system, like an enterprise system for each newsroom.
And Massimo, just for you to confirm, nothing leaves or?
No, yes, absolutely. There are a lot of security around. Models can be public, can be running locally in the media environment, in the news media corporation environment. There's a lot of safety around that.
Good. And then over to you, Tom, and maybe you can start by addressing that question. I know you worked with medical data.
So this is one of our core principles that we technically apply, that the customer's data is never used or can be leaked to the large LLMs for training.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, so to dive into to my part of this session, so turning AI experiments into reliable publishing workflows. That has been a key focus for us. While we've been developing our AI features, we're working closely with customers, so newsrooms, magazine publishers, content teams, to really understand where AI can help, not just what's possible, but also what's practical. And together we have uncovered the features that will make the biggest difference in real workflows. And we have learned how to apply AI in a way that's useful, safe, and sustainable. So over the next few minutes, I will walk you through what we've built. We talk a little bit about the challenges that the publishing industry faces, the solutions that we have built based on our 25 years of industry experience, both as a vendor as well as a service provider. and now focus on AI-driven content creation and automated layout production. I also encourage you to think about your own workflows as we go along. So before diving into the solutions, let's ground ourselves in the reality many of our are living in every day. First, the ongoing shift from print to digital. It's not just about changing formats, it's about meeting the relentless demand for real-time content across more platforms than ever. Then there is the fragmentation of tools, so editorial, planning, design. Often we see disconnected workflows leading to what we call content chaos. It slows you down, creates duplication, and makes collaboration harder than it should be. Add to that the financial pressure, so print and distribution costs are rising, while circulation and ad revenues continue to decline. And finally, the audience behavior is changing. So people consume content differently nowadays. Think about the short attention spans, high expectations for personalization and speed. But also something to look into in the AI era is zero click. So are visitors actually reaching your website, or is your content being consumed by AI vendors and shown to customers? So the question is how to respond and how to simplify and streamline your workflows, but still deliver quality at scale. So we help publishers respond to these challenges that we just mentioned, and we focus on enabling modern content operations, not just with software, but also with a combination of tools and integrations and experiences. So we bring print and digital together in a single workflow, so your teams can collaborate on content once and publish it everywhere, so no duplicated silos. So we help you manage your assets centrally. So visually, graphics and documents are easy to find, reuse and control. And we integrate the systems you already have. So CMS, planning, translation services. Your content flows smoothly across the process, and we support this with the consultancy and best practices. Let's take a closer look at how our solutions fit together. So first of all, Woodwing Studio. This is where your teams create the content. It supports print first, digital first, and channel agnostic workflows. And each of these workflows can be mixed and matched. Secondly, Woodwing Assets. This is your central content hub for managing visuals and media. It's not just a library, it's a real workspace, so you can search, create, reuse, and collaborate on your assets all in one place. And finally, Connect. This is the glue between systems, so it allows you to integrate Studio and Assets with your CMS, your planning tools, and all the services that you already use today. It helps you automate the handovers and reduces manual steps and ensures a smooth content workflow. As we build out this picture, let's start in the center. So at the center of it all is the content itself. So the story, the assets, the layout, that's what everything resolves around. So now moving outwards, first we have the people, so internal teams, editorial, design, marketing, legal, external contributors like freelancers, agencies, and everyone needs to collaborate around the same content and often at the same time. And you have to ensure that you don't step on each other's toes. Next, very important, data. Think of metadata, rights, users history, versioning. All of this needs to travel with your content. It makes your content discoverable, reusable, compliant, and without it, you're literally flying blind. And finally, of course, the channels, print, web, mobile. Content needs to be ready for all of them and often simultaneously. So when we talk about a connected ecosystem, this is what we mean. So content at the center, surrounded by people, data, systems, processes, and channels, all working in perfect harmony. Now let's talk about what AI adds on top of this strong foundation. So AI is opening up real opportunities to boost efficiency, but it only works when applied in the right places. So we've worked closely with our customers to identify where AI can help and build the features that help real publishing workflows. So today we're focusing on the features in Ludwig Studio. So let's walk through them. I've highlighted 3 features for today's webinar. So the first one is the AI assistant in the digital editor. The digital editor can be used to create digital first or channel neutral content, and the assistant helps you with, oh, let me move the screen a bit. Yeah. Helps you with tasks like generating titles, both print or SEO optimized titles, doing a SEO check, doing a copy edit check, and give tips on where to improve your article. It can help you to translate your content in different languages. And what we've done is we've integrated it right into the product as a side panel, so the user can access it without having to switch tools. And they can review these suggestions before making changes to the story itself. Secondly, AI-powered copy fitting. So traditionally, when text doesn't fit, you have to manually trim the text, or you have to send the design back to the designer to make the text fit. And both, of course, is a time-consuming step in the workflow. We took a slightly different approach to copy fitting. So we're not just rewriting the story all at once. The downside of that is that since the AI will completely change the story, you also have to put the story back into the review process, and that the original author might not be available at that point in time. So what we've done is that instead of rewriting the full story, we show shortened sentences, and the editor can select which sentences to select and shorten the story without having to review a full rewritten article. This shortens the review cycle significantly. And finally, AI layout automation. This is where we use AI to generate full pages based on your content and design rules. But let's go into that a little bit more in detail. So AI layout automation combines your team's design expertise with AI-generated layouts suggestions that saves hundreds of hours of repetitive work while keeping every page fully editable in InDesign. It's an automation that supports and amplifies your team's output. You save time by automating the repetitive parts of the layout production, but you maintain full creative control. So every page that the AI generates can be opened and refined in InDesign, just like any other layout. And secondly, the team can decide which pages to automate and which pages to design manually. It's a very flexible approach that lets you mix and match based on time, complexity, and creative needs. What's very important is that the system is based on your designs. So although your designs are in our system, we are not, of course, sharing them to the outside world. With the use of so-called blueprints, we ensure that a consistent flow of the articles over a section. So you can, with the blueprint, you can really define the outer dimensions of an article and not let an AI engine, for example, make the articles as a whole bigger or smaller, because that is against most customers' design principles. Then one of the biggest shifts, so why would you apply AI layout automation, is that you move away from fixed templates. So instead of having to rely on a limited set of static designs, editorial teams have now access to hundreds of thousands of flexible compositions, all generated dynamically based on the content at hand. And every building block is human designed, so it ensures that it is exactly on brand. But we are not stopping there. So in the next quarter, we're taking the next step to make the process even more efficient. So once an article is placed by AI layout automation, or AI in short, there might be still some small over or underset. Rather than sending the article or the layout back in the workflow, we ask AI to make some slight changes to the position and the size of the frames to make the text fit. So by principle, we don't make any changes to the text itself. For that, we have the other feature. It's a subtle but powerful improvement that saves time and keeps the layout clean and consistent. So let's have a quick look at the video of this feature in action. So what we see here is the pages as they are created by your page planning solution with the already placed ads. As a user, you can select the pages for which you want to run the layout automation. And now we see the system automatically laying out the pages along the stories along the pages. There's also a creative aspect to this. So what is a lead story? What is a secondary story? That is a creative decision. So as a user, you can make those changes on the fly. So for example, in this case, I make this a secondary story and I would like to have it on page 6. Now rerun the algorithm and you see that the pages are and the story placements is updated. In the background, the system ensures that always the best article shape is selected so that you don't have to manually copy fit the story afterwards. When you are ready and happy with the result, you can hit the Compose Pages button. This will send the pages to InDesign server in the background to place the shapes and the stories, the images on the pages. So when that comes back, so this is an example of a result. You can now see that all the stories are placed on the page, and you can continue your existing workflow either directly in the browser. So this is our print editor, or you can finish up the design in InDesign or in Copy. So as we close, I want to highlight some of the principles that I think you should apply when selecting AI features or enable AI features within your workflow. It's very important that you respect your brand. So any AI-generated outputs must align with your brand identity and design standards. I think consistency is non-negotiable. Second, you should support, not replace. AI is here to assist, not take over. So ensure that there is always a human in the loop. It should boost creativity. So AI should help to spark ideas, offer alternatives, and it should remove the clutter. So basically free up the team to work on the real creative bits and do the repetitive tasks, let those perform by AI. Finally, stay intentionally. So be deliberate about where you apply AI. So for example, the decision whether something is a lead story or a secondary story, that is really a creative decision that should be taken by a human, but then all the actions afterwards, there I can help you. So please keep these principles in mind to ensure that AI becomes really a trusted party in your workflow.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Tom, for that. We had some questions about the timing here, and the webinar is scheduled to end at 1:15. So if we could just quickly get to switch to the camera view, so we can all see each other. Then I have a few questions from the Q&A that I would like to run by you. And if you can we get the cameras on? And if you in the audience you have more questions, then we'll leave the webinar running a little bit longer so you can post it in the Q&A, and we will pick them up and send emails directly to you. Remember to put your email in if you entered as anonymous. A quick question for you, Tom. Woodwing is strong in magazines. You've been that traditional over the years. Do you see any differences in the use of AI in the magazine production and then the traditional news publishing?
Yeah, that's actually very interesting because the AI copy fitting, so the text copy fitting, there we tested that feature both on news and magazine production, and there is a difference. So where in news production, it's typically easier to shorten your text. You can shorten from the end. It's written in a certain way. You see that magazine content or long form content is typically shortened in the middle of the article. So yes, you see a difference in behavior and workflow. But the good thing is that you can, we support both workflows. So we have many customers that both have both newspapers and magazines within the same Woodwing environment and produced from the same Woodwing environment.
Good. Thank you. There was a question in the chat from or to Sarah regarding MyType. Can MyType be placed in front of any CMS, and is it a two-way integration or is it just a one-way integration?
As I said in the presentation, through API, so any CMS, any modern CMS that is possible to connect through API, yeah, we can connect MyType. Of course, I suggested to book a meeting with me and my team to discuss the technical aspect. And the rest of the question, sorry?
You already answered that, but the participant added as well, is it locally hosted or is it cloud only?
It's cloud only.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Final questions for Massimo about languages in Neon. Does it support any language, or do you have a specific list of languages that Neon supports?
Well, it's a modern tool, so I would say it supports any language. Obviously, talking about languages with Latin characters, Chinese, Japanese, Arabic, Cyrillic, all of these. Then there is in the details. So when we go into dialect and so forth, it may be tricky, but I would say it supports all the languages. And similarly, all the AI tools like the natural language search that supports all the languages as well.
Okay. One more question. Is it when you look for a Neon system, do you have to take the whole system, or can you integrate parts of Neon to existing systems? And I assume this person is asking about, what if I have another DAM system, another print system, another web CMS system? Can I still get Neon?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Neon is designed for digital. So for a digital content workflow, it's perfect if you move to digital first, or if you're digital only, that will be perfect. Having said that, it can be integrated with any existing solution. So legacy print, archives, monetizations and paywalls and all of that it's open to all the integration. And again, the footprint is designed to not be so invasive, and it's easy to implement.
Excellent. Good. We are a couple of minutes over. Again, we will be distributing the video to everyone who signed up. There were a bunch of other questions. There were especially one that I think was really interesting about integrating user needs inside of the CMSs. And I know that some of you have already told me that user needs is either already in the CMS system or on its way in there. So I just think that's interesting. Let's not dive into that right now. A lot of exciting roadmaps. Some of you actually showed the roadmaps, which was exciting as well. I just want to thank you for your time here. This was three not radically different approaches to AI and CMS, but still a little bit different to say the least. Thanks for sharing that. And from a One IFRA point of view, please reach out to me if we can help you in any way. This goes both for the suppliers and for the publishers in there. We love facilitating contacts to both suppliers and publishers. So as a member, we are here for you. And with that, I just want to say thank you for today and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we are off the air. Yep, I think we're off the air. Thanks for that. And yep, we'll email you. We'll get the questions to you. Thanks. Bye-bye.